Well, I don't have too much to talk about this week, Eagles-wise, since this week is their bye week. I could hype up the matchup they have with the Cardinals 2 weeks from now, but I really don't see much sense in doing that since the Cardinals have to play a game this week, and any number of things could happen, like Carson Palmer could get injured or whatever, and that changes the dynamics of the entire game. So I'm going to save the hype-up video talk for next week, and not really much to add other than what I said last Sunday and that game that the Eagles won against the Redskins. One other thing I would like to add to Redskin fans, the good news is Shanahan will be so fucking fired. If not after the next week or two, but by the end of the season. I don't per se hate RG3 as a quarterback. I just think Shanahan is probably one of the worst coaching choices to have for a guy like RG3. But enough about that team. The Eagles thus far, I guess one thing I could just talk about is just that I'm satisfied. I'm more than satisfied. I would have been satisfied if they got one more win than the Eagles got last year, but now they're sitting at 2 wins and at first place in the NFC East come Week 11. I don't know how anyone out there can complain about that. I mean, if your expectations were higher than that at this point, then you're smoking too much wacky tobacco. This Eagles team is just, the word I can say is satisfying. Yes, they've had some roadblocks, they've had some brick walls they hit, they've had some shit performances, but it seems that they started to find their way, and now they're on that part where they're arcing upwards in their talent ability. Now, I hear all the people out there that are saying, like, calm down, who have the Eagles really beat? They haven't beat anyone with a record over 500. The one team that they did beat with a record over 500, I should say, is the Packers, but they did that with Scott Tolzien as the quarterback, so that's not really saying too much. I hear all that, and I'm not saying that, this team is like, oh, it's just so convincing, they're winning, and it's great, and they're definitely going to go to, high expectations from this. I hear all the critics out there, I'm not blind. I see the records of the teams they're facing. I see how weak the NFC East is this year. I'm not going to say for a second, even if the Eagles win out, say that, oh my God, this is one of the most dominant teams in football this year. Because they have had a weak schedule. They have had a weak division they have to play games in. I get all that. And the tough games they had so far, like a game like that Green Bay game, they lost Aaron Rodgers, so I hear all that. But it's looking like Chip Kelly is finding his way with the system. He's really got people to be more motivated to play than Andy Reid got this group of guys to play last year. Well, most of the guys that were here last year when Andy Reid was here. So I'm just pleased. I'm just pleased, and I'm glad to see that the team is no longer regressing. It went from that 8-8 to 6 wins to 4 wins to getting rid of Andy Reid to now here we are 6 wins with, more football left to play this year. We're playing meaningful football in December. You haven't been able to say that for a while here. I know a while, and I know it's like, it's been a couple years. Some people, like Cleveland's like, oh, we haven't seen meaningful football in decades. And I know, but, anyway, it's nice to see the Eagles are competitive again and making strides to be better for a change. I really shot down Chip Kelly quite a bit early on, didn't give him much of a chance when he was faltering, when the team was faltering. I feel I did unfairly criticize him at points. And just everyone just seems to be finding their way. In some way or another, everyone seems to be finding a way on this team. There's still guys that need a ton of improvement, or guys that just don't need to step on the field anymore, but everyone's finding their way, whether it's a good way or a bad way. For the majority, it's a good way. Anyway, I'm just pleased with the Eagles season. Enough of that. Let's just go over my review of last week, talk about the games I got wrong, go into my predictions for Week 12. Are we up to Week 12? Yes, we're up to Week 12, and we'll take it from there. All right, go Eagles, sitting pretty for at least one more week until we have to play football again. Anyway, last week I went 10-5 with my predictions. Got a few upsets right. Got a few predictions that I just like, what the fuck was I thinking picking that? Anyway, like I said last week, all but one time that I picked either the Jets or lose, the opposite happened. So it seems that trend continued last week because I picked the Jets to win and the opposite happened again. My God, this team is, for the first time in NFL history, has won one, lost one, won one, lost one, won one, lost one for 10 consecutive weeks. Well, it's not consecutive because there's a bye week in there, but you get what I'm saying. Their first 10 games, they won one, lost one, all in a row. If that team isn't the epitome of mediocrity, I don't know what is. It's a team that's probably going to get into the playoffs and, do nothing. Kind of like if the Eagles got in the playoffs. So just the two green teams are going to get in the playoffs and probably do nothing. It's not so much that the Jets lost, but Geno Smith is looking like that quarterback that all the people like myself and the people that basically said, this guy is just not ready for the prime time. He's looking like that quarterback that we all thought he was going to be. And it's to the point now where they're considering starting Sims in his place. They had to pull him last week in Buffalo in the fourth quarter and put Sims in. And, it's just... I like making fun of the Jets and all, but it's just so perplexing because this team beats New Orleans and then will shit the bed against a team like the Bills, and it's like, how the fuck does that happen? Like, I don't know. That's the Jets for you. That's one team my whole life I've been just never been able to figure out because they just, I don't know. They just surprised the shit out of you. Fuck, they went to 2 AFC Championship games with Mark Sanchez. Who can figure that one out? Anyway. Oh boy. So, what will I pick for the Jets to do this week? We'll find out in a second. Baltimore and Chicago in probably one of the messiest weather games that I had ever seen. Holy shit. This is Baltimore's third delay because of weather in 1 year. Well, not because of weather. Second delay because of weather, and the third delay came in the Super Bowl due to the power outage. Week 1, they had the delay because of lightning in Denver. This week, they had tornadoes going through Illinois. They had to halt the game. My God, Baltimore just can't get in a groove, but lost a close game in overtime, and wouldn't you know it, this Schmitty fucking McGee has another win as the Chicago quarterback's QB. You go, Schmitty McGee. You and your little CFL coach are doing a pretty decent job there. And Baltimore, the story of their season, they're either losing by 3 or less points or winning by 3 or less points. I think they said 8, wasn't it? Someone may correct me, it's like 8 or 9 games this year. Baltimore has either won or lost by 3 or less points. Like, that's crazy. Like, I mean, just, that's a team where they could be significantly better than they are or significantly worse than they are just by, getting 1 extra play or 2 made in a game or not made. Anyway, tough luck, Baltimore. It looks like you're not even going to make the playoffs. You're at 4-6 right now. That's yikes. Detroit. I had you winning at Pittsburgh. Detroit is just this team like the Jets. It's like you can't figure out who the fuck they are. 1 week they're world beaters, and then the next week they're just like, we don't even care. My God, Detroit. A team that hasn't won a playoff game since 1991. 1991 was the last time the Detroit Lions won a playoff game. Fucking hell, man. That's got to be just a brutal being a Lions fan. Just absolutely fucking brutal, and I feel your pain, man. Not that I know what it's like to win 1 playoff game in over 20 years, but that's just fucking brutal. And then you have the fact that they went winless for an entire season along the way there. Jesus Christ, poor fucking Detroit. Lost in Pittsburgh. Oakland! Getting a win over the Texans. Now, this is a game last week where I was like, fuck, I don't know, the Texans are going to win. Why the fuck did I pick the Texans? Why the fuck? This is one of the most heartless, non-competitive teams in all of football this year. Just someone that should have had more than enough talent to get a playoff bid. They're not even competitive. Just not even competitive. They're shooting themselves in the foot. The whole Schaub fiasco in the beginning of the year costing them games. Fucking hell, man. That team is just going to get steamrolled the rest of the year. They just have no heart. They're just like the Falcons. There's just no heart left on that team. At least the Falcons have a number of excuses to fall back on, like injuries, but still, just even that's a piss poor excuse for Atlanta. They should be losing that fucking much. Green Bay. Oh man, Tolzien. I thought you were going to get a win. Instead, you guys gave my 5th loss this week, 10-5 this week. Scott Tolzien loses to the New York Giants. Don't look now, but the fucking Gents, like, just when everyone doubts them, they just show their head up and just creep right back into the playoff picture. Can anyone figure this shit out? Their 4th win in a row after losing their first 6? The fuck is that shit? Oh my god, I just... Week 12 picks, that concludes the Week 11 review, 10-5. Just one last thing that I want to talk about as far as Week 11 goes. The Monday Night Football game, since a number of people were asking about it, what did I think about that no call in the end of the game where they called pass interference committed on Gronkowski and then picked up the flag, and that ends in the game. There's a number of things I could say. Is that one, it was a borderline call because that ball absolutely was not going to get catched by Gronkowski. I don't care if his arms were 10 feet long, he wasn't going to get that ball. On top of that, there was 2 defenders in between him and the ball. There's no fucking way. Even if there was no contact on the play, there's no fucking way Gronkowski is getting to that. I know some people in Boston are going to dispute that, but whatever. It's not going to change the fact of the matter. 2, it was a close call. It was a close call. If I was calling the game, I probably would have called a foul there. I mean, it's just something, like, yeah, I'm sure, like, you know, when you're looking back at the replay, you're like, oh, yeah, that isn't really catchable. But in the moment, I'd probably be like, oh, yeah, that looked like a catchable ball, flag. But here's the thing. The Patriots just didn't deserve to fucking win that game. They did not just fucking deserve to win that game. And frankly, I think the way they conducted themselves after the game, with Tom Brady crying to the ref, seeing that little pretty boy crying and pissing and moaning, you know he got talked to by Belichick in the locker room because he didn't fucking utter a single tear or shed a single tear in the press conference afterward. It's like, you know what? You lost. Arguing to the ref and basically making a spectacle of yourself on TV ain't changing a thing. Act like you've been here before. You've been behind the 8 ball before. You're still in a great position. Fucking win out the rest of the season. Don't fucking bitch at the ref and look like a fucking crybaby on national television. You lost to the better team that night, and that's all it comes down to, Tom. Because the Patriots did not deserve to win that game. And frankly, Carolina got called for a pass interference earlier in the 4th quarter where ball was completely uncatchable, out of bounds, and Carolina got called for it. I mean, you don't see Cam Newton getting in the ref's face crying about that shit or the coach or anything like that. But anyway, the Patriots did not deserve to win that game. And frankly, I thought it was fucking great seeing Tom Brady act like such a fucking bitch at the end of that game. I liked it when they interviewed Steve Smith. Who did he get in the fight with, Talib or whoever? Anyway, he kept getting in a scuffle with guys in the secondary, and they asked him about the game, saying like, oh, things got pretty heated, something along those lines, and he said something to the effect of, yeah, I closed out the game, and I hope the other guy enjoys taking a shower right now. Just like his way of saying, like, you know, fuck you, get off my fucking field. You came here, the big bad Patriots, everyone expected them to win, make their statement against this team that no one's given enough credit to in Carolina. Anyways, I love the way that this Carolina Panthers team is playing football. I love Steve Smith asking the other guy if he's enjoying taking a shower. That's right, hit the fucking showers, chump. Walk off my fucking field. You fucking go, Smith. Fuck yeah. Anyway, I just love how this Carolina Panthers team is playing football. Just absolutely love it. Anyway, Week 12. New Orleans at Atlanta on Thursday Night Football. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say I'm going to be asleep because this game is going to be so fucking far out of reach by the first quarter. Atlanta is one of the most heartless, gutless teams in football this year. Again, they could lean back on the injury excuse, but still, to play this fucking bad that you have the opposite record of the team you're playing in week fucking 12, the fuck out of here. There's fucking people picking Atlanta to be in the Super Bowl. What fucking dumbass did that? Oh, it was me. Anyway, Atlanta, fuck you. You're losing on Thursday Night Football. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Go Brownies. I'm picking the Brownies to win. Go Cleveland. Fuck Joe Banner. I picked Cleveland. Ever since Joe Banner tried to fuck over the Cleveland Brownies this year in week 2, I've been such a supporter of the Cleveland Brownies. Go Brownies. Tampa Bay at Detroit. I don't see Detroit losing again, especially at home. Look for Detroit to win. Rebound from that miserable performance they had last week. Minnesota at Green Bay. Number one, Aaron Rodgers better not start this game. I know they say like, he might wait off till Thanksgiving Day to start again. Tolzien, you put up, I think it was like close to 300 yards against the Giants last week. Just get the job done. And this is a very, very, very unique position for the Packers because it's almost to the point where they have to win. They have to win this game because you can't just expect Aaron Rodgers to come in and win out the rest of the season. The Packers' schedule isn't exactly a cakewalk. It would be nice if they had 2 Minnesota games to finish the season off with, but they don't. Tolzien's got to find a way to win this game, and so do the Packers. And that Packers defense has to find a way to win this game. Shut down Peterson, and that's pretty much all you got to do. I would just let him try and throw the long ball all game. Just shut down Peterson. That's your best bet. San Diego at Kansas City. Now, people may be shocked to think this, but the Archfiend upset special this week is San Diego winning in Kansas City. Call me crazy. Call me dumb, call me whatever. You guys are already typing out the comments. I know, I see them. I just see Andy Reid being kind of shook right now. Kind of shook that they had that big heaping helping of humble pie handed to them by Peyton Manning. And now they're just going to be like, all right, we'll maybe win 2 or 3 more games the rest of this year, taking the playoffs, maybe win a round, maybe possibly win a round or 2. And I don't know. I just see the Chargers coming out and just trying to make a last-ditch effort to impress anyone in this league. Because, frankly, they started to come out and be that impressive team. Phillip Rivers was having a borderline MVP season by week 5, and then he just went... Anyway, I got San Diego winning in Kansas City. Sue me. Chicago at St. Louis. St. Louis fucking busted up the Colts a couple weeks ago. But I don't see them busting up Chicago here. Look for Schmitty McGee. Fucked up his name. Look for Schmitty McGee to win on the road. You go, Schmitty. Carolina at Miami. Carolina is going to have another win, and it is time that people start taking serious note of this Panthers team. And that's great. That statement game they made on Monday night was great. I know people want to harp on that fucking final call, but give credit where credit is due. Carolina played a completely better end-to-end game than the Patriots. Nothing can change that. Nothing. And there's no guarantee that Tom Brady has another play after that interference in the end zone and scores. So there's so many ifs, even if there was a penalty there. Carolina flat out deserved to win that game. Anyway, for Carolina to win at Miami. The New York Jets at Baltimore. So, all but one time this year, the Jets did the opposite of what I picked. Or the Jets didn't do the opposite of what I picked. In other words, if I picked the Jets to win, the Jets would lose. If I picked the Jets to lose, the Jets would win. There's only one time that I picked the Jets to win, and they actually won this year. So, Baltimore, coming off another 3-point loss in Chicago last week. Look for Baltimore to win at home. The Jets fan just went, yes! Yes! We'll see. Jacksonville at Houston. Fuck you, Houston. I'm going to pick Jacksonville to come into your fucking backyard and win in Houston. Win in Planet Houston. Where's the line Planet Houston from? See who out there knows movies. Tennessee at Oakland. I got Oakland winning another game, and don't look now, Oakland's in the playoff hunt. Fucking hell. Indianapolis at Arizona. All right. Now, while I think Indianapolis is a better team, even without Reggie Wayne, I want Arizona to win this game, and not only do I want Arizona to win this game, I think they are going to win this game. And one of the reasons why I want Arizona to win this game is they're going on to face the Eagles in Week 13. And the only thing that's really going to get the Eagles respect right now is beating teams with wins. I don't want them facing a team that has another 500 record, and then they're going to go on and face someone like Minnesota, and then the Eagles will beat a team like Minnesota, and everyone will be like, oh great, the Eagles beat another mediocre team. I want Arizona to win this game. I want Carson Palmer to still be a quarterback. I don't want anyone injured. I don't want to see Larry Fitzgerald go down or anything like that. I want a full deck coming into the link. They're already talking about, I do believe the game's been flexed up to an 8 o'clock game. I want the Cardinals to come in with a hot hand. I want them to come in off a win, because beating a team like that will get the Eagles more respect. And it's a better test. I want to know if my team can beat the better teams in the league. Because frankly, I really don't know that for sure. I want to see it. So, Cardinals fucking win at home. Beat the winless Colts. Dallas at the New York Giants. This game is just fucking glorious. Because as an Eagles fan, there is no bad outcome for this game. None. If Dallas loses, they fall one game farther behind the Eagles. If the Giants lose, they basically fall out of the playoff picture altogether. Philadelphia controls their own destiny. All Philadelphia has to do is win games, go into that final week where they play Dallas in Dallas, beat Dallas there, and Dallas can't win the division. The Eagles can control, no matter what happens this week, the Eagles can control their destiny here. And that is the one position you always want your team to be in. All the Eagles have to do is win. So if Dallas wins, it doesn't matter. Philadelphia still controls their destiny because they have that Week 17 game against Dallas. If the Giants win, they're still a game back, but now so are the Cowboys. The Cowboys are even farther back now. So, fucking hell, this is great. And nothing the Eagles can do this week because they got the bye. This is just fucking fantastic. Fucking fantastic. So, it comes down to, what do I want to happen? Well, it's simple. You want the team that is closer on your heels to lose. And with that being said, I want the Cowboys to lose. I don't care because, one of the main things is between Dallas, New York, and Philadelphia right now, New York has the hardest game left on their schedule. They still have to play Seattle. And I hate to break it to you, the Giants are not fucking winning against Seattle. Just ain't fucking happening. The Giants have such little room for error right now. And they have to count on the fact that Dallas or the Eagles are going to lose 2 more games the remainder of the season. That's the only way the Giants are going to pass them. So that being said, you're banking on the fact that that Dallas and Philadelphia are going to lose 2 more games, and then you're banking on the fact that the Giants are going to win against Seattle. So you got to root for the Giants in this game as a Philadelphia fan. Like, I don't... Even if you hate one team over the other, you have to root for the Giants to win this game. You just have to. So, that being said, I got the Giants beating the fucking Cowgirls in New York. In New Jersey, but whatever. Oh, by the way, the byes this week are Philadelphia, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and Seattle. So, Seattle fans, you don't hear me talk about your team winning for the 5 billionth time in a row. Anyway, look for the Giants to win, and my God, oh, that'd be so fucking great. Just to see those Cowboy fans cry just a little bit more. Oh, those tears are so sweet, so sweet. Another year of mediocrity. Anyway, don't want to count my chickens before they hatch here. The season ain't over just yet. Denver at New England. Oh, fuck yeah. You know what? Fucking Peyton Manning, drive that fucking dagger into New England while they're down. They're pissed. They're pissed that they got ripped off on Monday night. You know what? Kick that fucking dog while they're down. Denver winning at New England. Lost on the road last week on primetime. Now you're going to lose on your back porch on primetime. Fuck New England. Kick their ass, Peyton. And then ending the week on Monday Night Football with a fantastic game. Oh my goodness. Been looking forward to this game all year. San Francisco at the Washington Deadskins. This is great. This is just fucking great. You got a game between, as an NFC East fan of the Eagles, you get a game between the Giants and Cowboys where no matter what happens, you're not going to hate the outcome of it. Or you get to see RG3 lose at home against a much far superior 49ers team. 49ers have just been fucking stuttering, and yeah, I know that hit to Drew Brees that caused the fumble. I hate to break the 49er fans, but that was the right call as far as the rule goes. I think it's kind of a bullshit rule, and it would have been called 10 or so years ago, but it is what it is. Anyway, 49ers, have no fear, you're going to win this week at RFK or whatever the fuck their stadium's called now. Anyway, that's our wrap up, and my God, this is going to be such a fun week of football. No stress from watching the Eagles play. I'll still be on Twitter, so if you want to see me talking about the games on Twitter, and probably be tweeting about the Redskins game on Monday night and all that shit, so it's going to be good, especially that fucking 4 o'clock Giants game, that Giants-Dallas game. Oh, I can't wait to fucking just sit there with a bowl of popcorn and watch that shit. Fuck yeah. This is like I've never been so happy to root for the Giants in a football game. Like, I just fucking... But then even if the Giants lose, I'm just like, oh well, bye-bye, better luck next year, Giants, because losing to Dallas and then going on to lose to Seattle, fuck, you guys are screwed. Anyway, good fucking week of football coming up, good fucking situation for the Eagles. My God, I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to enjoy this just prosperity, this turning of the tide, this turning back towards north and not being a fucking boot heel of the league. It's fucking good. Fucking good year of football so far. And again, like I said before, I am just fucking satisfied. Oh, and one final note. I found this interesting. The Sunday night football game between the Chiefs and I almost said the Patriots. The Chiefs and the Broncos was the 4th highest rated show on television all this year. It was behind the Super Bowl, the Oscars, and I think the Emmys or something like that. And then it was a regular season Week 11 football game. This game outdrew the viewership of both the AFC and NFC championship games last year. My God. Now, I know a lot of people criticize the NFL for changing its rules and stuff and making the game a lot less similar to the way it looked before. But when the proof is in the pudding and viewership is at an all-time high and more people are just getting sucked in, this was a regular season game. And it was the 4th highest rated television event of all television for the entire year. Fucking hell. Football is just a fucking juggernaut in this country, and anyone that doubts that is just fucking delusional. Anyway, just wanted to end on that note. When I heard that, I was like, that's fucking incredible. That regular season games are outdrawing playoff games from last year. That's fucking nuts. I can just imagine what the ratings for the Super Bowl are going to be, especially if it's a compelling matchup. Anyway, everyone, good week of football coming up, and I ended up making this video as long as the other videos anyway, so without an Eagles game even being promoted. Have a good day, everyone, and let's go Eagles! fuck the Dallas Cowboys. You thought I forgot about that, didn't you? Have a great day, everyone.